Thanks for tuning back into Rayleigh's Small Engines. Old T-Bone here. I was looking up the name of this log splitter. Well, the best I can come up with is DIDIER, which is like French or something. Heck, I don't know. It's a log splitter. And we got a little 5 horsepower Briggs and Stratton on here, and it's shot. This is our old log splitter. It's been sitting out there in the woods now for years. Well, the pump was good. I hope it still is, because I'm about to, we're going to fix this thing. So, y'all stick around. I'm going to see. I think I got another engine back there. We might just do an engine swap. This tank was shot. The carburetor, you know, the tank and everything. The tank's so rusty, it's, I mean, unbelievable. So, let's go see if I got an engine. Goodness, somebody ought to clean up this building. Couple of Hondas. I thought I had one. Let's get that one around there and see what it looks like. This appears to be a little bit newer model. This one's a 5.5 horse. Let's see. Yeah, it's a 2000 model, I guess. Let's see what the other one is. What's that, y'all? 87. If you're doing the engine swap on, well, pretty much anything, one of the most important things is going to be the crankshaft length and the diameter of the crankshaft. And then, are you going to be able to mount whatever it is? You know, in this case, we've got to mount to the side of the engine. So I don't even know if this is going to work or not, but we're going to find out. And I'm going to pull this cover here off just a couple bolts, and let's see what's under there, because I've never taken one apart. Well, that was easy enough. It only had one bolt on one side. And it looks like we just pull these 4 bolts out. Hopefully that'll work with this other engine. Looks like we're going to have an Allen screw here, but I'm betting I take these 4 bolts here out, this unit will come off at this split. It should slide off here, hopefully, and then we'll deal with that set screw. All right, 4 bolts are out. This should slide over out of the way. Now what we need to start looking at is going to be diameter, length. These stick off the case a little further, but they're even there. And then if we look over to this one, these look like they're recessed. So might have to go to a longer bolt and a couple spacers in there. We might make this thing work yet. I don't know. We'll see. Well, I tried some lubricant on here, and that bad boy is locked tight. So before I break my wrench or round out that Allen head, and then I'll be drilling out and all that mess, I'm just going to take the 4 bolts loose down here. I might have to raise this up because I know there's nuts under the bottom. I'm going to pull these 4 bolts and just go and take the engine off. Then we'll set it over on the edge of the table and put some heat to it and see if we can get that Allen screw back out of there. So y'all stand by. We're just going to use a little propane torch, and we'll try that. If that doesn't work, then I'll get the big torch out. Trying not to burn that crankshaft seal, but if I do, it doesn't matter. I need to rebuild this engine anyway. Thinking about sometime over the next few weeks or a month or something here. I got a couple little GX160 Hondas back there that need to be rebuilt. Might do a little video on those. Alright, let's see if that helped any. Look at there. Look. What? That's what I'm talking about. I don't have to back this all the way out. I just wanted to get it loose. How about that? Now the next fun part, getting that off. Get your brand new brass hammer. I'll be dipped. It's moving. Barely. If I grab it, it'd probably come off, but it's too dang hot. There we go. Yay! So we've got to make the other engine the same distance from this to the end of the crank. So with this is jacked off of this cover. So what we did, we basically measured, you basically got 2.5, give or take, okay? If you look at it like that angle, 2.5. Then we come over to this end at the mount, and we're sitting right at 3 inches. So the difference is 1/4 of an inch. So this is why I save everything. There's the spacer boxes, any kind of washer. Of course, it's not very organized, huh? It looks like a rat got in here or something. Probably got a mouse. So this is what I come up with. I found 2 spacers. Of course, I didn't have 4. So then I went and got a bunch of flat washers and stacked them up. And I got the same thickness. Now I got to go find some doggone bolts. Lord, this is going to be harder than finding hen's teeth. Well, y'all stand by. I told y'all wrong a second ago. I said it was 3. It's actually 2 3/4 is the difference. So it's a 1/4 inch difference. But 2 hours later, we found some bolts that are longer, nice and rusty. So we had to pull out and get our tap and die set out, and we re-thread them, clean the threads up real good. So those 4 right there should work. So we're going to put these spacers on and remount this pump. And as this cooled off, now my doggone Allen screw's locked up again. So I'm going to have to heat that up, take it out, clean the threads, put it back together. So let me get this heated up and put this on. Then we're going to put that on, and we'll see what the next step's going to be. Dang, somebody ought to clean this mess up. Well, got it back together. And, of course, sitting up engine, what I tell people don't do all the time. I let it sit up bad gas. So I squirted a little brake cleaner in through the top up there, and it fired off and shut back off. But I can't run it long. Got the doors shut. It's freezing rain outside, 32 degrees out there, 65 in the shop though. That's nice. So I may or may not have to pull this carburetor off. Quite a few different designs of these. These are little plastic. You can pop that out because we are going to pull the carburetor off, hook it out of there and lay it down. Little spring, pull it up sideways, pop Now it's loose. This has got a Z-bend. You can't tell because of all the grease, and I don't know if I've got room. Let's see. Yep, there's our carburetor, or tank and carburetor assembly. So in order to get the throttle and choke bracket, we've already removed 2 of the screws. We have to remove this one, and there's one more, I think, right down in there, if you can see. We're going to take those off, and then we can separate the carburetor from the tank and see what we have. We've got our screws removed. We'll pull this up, pull that out. Now these long tube, I'm going to show you something. These are the copper tube or whatever, brass, whatever it's made out of. These are bad about cracking lengthwise, and they will not pull fuel. What happens, this is sucking fuel out of the tank, and it sucks it in, and then it drops it in this shallow compartment, and it's constantly pumping fuel into this. That is overflowing through these back into the tank, so it's just constantly circulating that fuel. Now your main jet and all sucks out of the shallow compartment right here, which is the short tube. And there is your main jet, what I call the main jet. You can call it what you want to. That's what I call the main jet in these. And I'm guessing, and I may have the wrong name, this is your fuel pump side. There's a little circle in there with a spring and a diaphragm. I'm going to probably take that apart too. Y'all stand by. So these little screws are little T15 Torx. And sometimes you got to take a little screwdriver, and let's be careful not to tear the gasket because it may still be okay. See inside there what I was talking about? Had to pause that a second. The gasket stuck a little bit right here. I didn't want to tear it. These is your in and your out flapper valve thingy-mabob, hitchy-mo's, and I doubt my fat fingers go. Oh, there it goes. Little spring and a clip, washer, whatever goes in there. So what you want to look for is if these are damaged, that's still nice and pliable. A lot of times these will get real hard and brittle and they won't bend, and this is constantly going in and out and pumping your fuel. So actually I was surprised the inside of this it's got some dirt in there, but it's not bad. I've seen a lot worse. I'm going to clean this up and let's get him back together. Another little tip for getting to this screw right here. If you take your starter housing, blower housing off and out of the doggone way, it gives you a little more room to get your hand up in here and get your wrench in there and tighten that up. I don't know if it was Briggs or Stratton designed that, but that same bolt's been in the same spot for as long as I can remember on these little engines. Even old ones, new ones, they all like this. So anyhow, all right, let me get this tightened up. Okay, I got him back together. So since it is 32 degrees outside and raining, and there's icicles even hanging off the roof of the golf cart out there, so I think I'm gonna wait till tomorrow, and then we'll go outside and we'll crank this thing up. It'll probably take a couple of pulls for that fuel pump to pull that fuel up, like we said, up into that little trough, but usually 3, 4, 5 pulls once you first do it to get it going. So I'll see y'all in the morning and we'll go out there and start this thing up. One more quick thing. Yeah, it's too dang cold to pressure wash and clean all this mess up, but anyway, this one's mine. I wouldn't dare give a customer back one that looks like this without cleaning it up, but this one's ours. It doesn't matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and change this oil, and then we're gonna just because I can, I'm gonna go ahead and put a new porcelain spark make it happen or thingy-mabob right there. You see that? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. All right, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what we got going on. Almost. appreciate you watching. Y'all click that subscribe button. Hope you got some ideas out of this and helps you out. We'll probably try to fix that engine at some point. But guess I'm gonna have to go split some wood. It's kind of doggone cold out here. Let me shut this door, man.